the capacity through building the capacities of the entrepreneurs, youth, and women who are economically poor. I and my colleagues are indeed very delighted to have all of you in this important event because your presence, which we consider to be an invaluable contribution, not only to promote our association, but also to use our professional competency to help our country to achieve its economic transformation. And this will help us to enrich our efforts to improve the livelihood of economically poor people through capacity development in Ethiopia. As a result, the support of our government, ILO, and other international and national organizations is critical for this initiative in achieving the aforementioned goal. We'll continue to innovate our profession to improve the capacities of individuals who want to be changed and eradicate poverty on an individual and national level. As a result, we have implicit confidence that today's gathering will paint a picture of our association and its goal, as well as the areas in which we collaborate with stakeholders. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to welcome you all to, again, the inauguration of our association. I wish you a successful conference. Thank you again. Thank you. ጨርሻለሁ። ፈይሰል ይሰማል? ፈይሰል ሚውትድ ነህ?
አሁን ይሰማል ታምሩ?
አሁን ይሰማል። እሺ፣
እናመሰግናለን። እሺ፣ thank you for your opening speech. We are proceeding to the next events. So thank you again. Our first segment of support will be from Mr. Alexio Musendo, the country director for ILO. So I'll give the chance for Mr. Alex. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me start by saying a very good morning to each and everyone in the room. Good morning.
Good morning, Alexia.
Thank you. I think we are now together. I start by acknowledging the presence of His Excellency, the State Minister, Attorney Gusu Tilaum. Thank you very much for being available for this event. And also thank the Deputy Head of Mission of the Kingdom of the Netherlands, Paula Schindler. Got it. Thank you very much for joining us at this event, and our appreciation to the government of Netherlands for supporting this event. And of course, our host for today, Tamiru Demeke, is the chairperson of the Business Development Service Providers for Ethiopia. And also to welcome, more specifically, my colleagues from the ILO headquarters, led by Tine. We have also joined us for this event. With your permission, just after my few remarks, I would also request Tine to also come in and say some remarks from the global perspective on this project. And of course, my colleagues with the ILO prospects team here, and of course, all you as members of the newly established Business Development Service Providers. Let me start by a congratulations to you for reaching this part of the journey, which is turning a page in terms of business development service provision in Ethiopia. Starting from where the ILO comes into the picture. Our strategic document for Ethiopia, the ILO Decent Work Country Program, yes, outcomes and activities that are related to the promotion of sustainable enterprises, issues around innovation, growth, more and better jobs. And when we look at this outcome from the ILO, the focus comes to be in a number of thematic areas, including cooperative development, and do acknowledge the presence of the cooperative director from Jijiga, social finance related issues, SME development, entrepreneurship, financial inclusion, all being part of the ILO Decent Work Country Program. And as you see in the presentations to come, all are part of the Prospects Program. The ILO support to business development services is primarily through building of intermediary deliveries like yourselves, but also through intervention to improve the way the markets work. In these areas that I have mentioned, ILO has developed a number of tools and products that can be adapted to the local environment. The first tool I can talk about is the business management training. In terms of covering a whole spectrum of target groups of micro entrepreneurs, growth-oriented, and small and medium entrepreneurs. And this is where tools such as the SIYB2 that all of you are acquainted to comes into play. We have tools that focus on get ahead, women and youth entrepreneurship. We have also developed tools that deal with linkages between business development services and financial services. And at the ILO Training Center in Turin, we do have a full department that focuses specifically on these areas in the country program. Now, where does this bring us within the Prospects Program? So over the years, when the ILO has been implementing the Prospects Program in Ethiopia, we have done a focus on capacity development of business development providers in a number of packages. The number of ILO trained trainers, we have 4 master trainers on SIYB, 7 in financial education, 10 in Get Ahead, and 18 generally in SIYB, still ongoing. Through the prospects and other ILO projects in the country, we also have quite a number of other trainers on these packages that are currently ongoing. But what is it that would like to, what is the challenge? What is the issue? Why do we bring all of us in this room to have this particular organization? We realized as we're doing the training that most of the trainers that were working in Ethiopia, we had to bring them from Kenya, from Uganda, from Zimbabwe, amongst other countries. And we did not have a master trainer in the country. We also realized that when discussing with you individually, each one was coming with their own terms. And I do recall a meeting we had next door here at the Radisson with some of you, where a discussion took place to say, how can we better organize ourselves and also deliver on basically the 4 strategic objectives of the ILO. What do I mean by that? By having this organization, you are going to have a voice that you can approach the government with a voice on what it is that you'd like to do. You are going to have a voice to approach development partners to influence some of the programs on entrepreneurship development, which is a core pillar of the ILO program. Second pillar of the ILO program is around rights. By having an organization that is registered by governments, you then have rights to operate and also as members of the organization. The third is around job creation, which is central to what we do in the country. It is our hope that through this association, we'll contribute to the national efforts toward job creation. And the fourth pillar of decent work is on social protection. We do definitely believe that through the association, you also be able to make an income, to have working conditions that make you move to the next level in terms of development. So the whole association, from the way we see it as ILO, does provide core pillar of the decent work agenda. What's next from the way we see it? I think what's next for us is around knowledge development. We have done the initial work with you as ILO, but as we continue, as the structure of the economy is changing, there is need for investments in knowledge development. What's next for us, second, is advocacy. We are very few in this room. How do we advocate the work of this association beyond the people in the room? Third is around service delivery. From the government side, I'm sure the Honorable Minister would like to see jobs being created, enterprises being developed. What exactly are we going to put, if we are to meet here next year, what will be our report in terms of how the association has contributed to national development, job creation? So from the ILO, again, would like to say congratulations, you having the association. We do commit to continue supporting you. The Prospects Project, thanks to the funding from the government of the Netherlands, will continue to provide support to the association, focusing initially in the Somali region where we are working, but I think the model can be adapted to any part of the country. I do commit on behalf from the country office, but I would like to extend that commitment to also come from the ILO global perspective. And with this, with your permission, I invite my colleague, Tin, to take the floor.
Thank you, Alexio, and good morning, everyone. My name is Tine Stermos. I work as the Senior Advisor to the Deputy Director General for Policy in Geneva. And I would like to also briefly introduce Nick Gricewood, the Global Program Manager, and Fatma Kaya, who works as a Program Officer in the global team. Well, first of all, Honorable Minister, see if I can get your name right, Nikusi Tiluhan Kipra Manuel, State Minister for the Ministry of Labor and Skills. I'm very pleased to meet you. And Paula Schneider, Deputy Head of the Netherlands Embassy here in Addis, and Tamiru Demeke, who is online with us, the President of the Association on the BDS work here. Let me say very briefly that it's a delight for us to be here to witness this association being established. And the ILO Prospects Program works in 8 countries. It works in addition to Ethiopia, it works in Uganda, Kenya, Sudan, Egypt. We have Lebanon, we have Jordan, and we have Iraq. And the structure of the program that Alexio has outlined here, we are having it in all the other countries, but in different forms. And it's very important for us to say that even though it's a global program, this program at the country level, within its partnership structure that I should also very briefly mention, it's a partnership program where we work very closely with UNHCR, with UNICEF, with the World Bank, and with the IFC. So in each of the countries, the country teams consist of these agencies and working with the different national counterparts to establish exactly what is required according to national circumstances. And I think that's very critical because each country is different, each of your regions are different. And so when this BDS association rolls out, we are going to follow you and see how you are going to multiply this. As Alexio said, advocacy, but also the service delivery, we do expect that there will be a multiplier effect once the training starts rolling out. We are curious to see all the different target groups you are reaching. This program works in refugee and host community areas, and we do hope that also the BDS environment will indeed be targeting beneficiaries in these target groups. I do not want to say much more, just to say we are very pleased to be here, and we are looking forward to listening to all the good work and the next speakers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Tina, and also Mr. Alexei, for your statement of support and showing that how much ILO has been working and still willing to work in this area. That is a very good news for us as an association. So next, I'll invite Ms. Paula Schneider, Deputy Head of Mission for Kingdom of the Netherlands. Thank you.
My voice is not so great this morning, so that's why I was looking for the microphone. Can you hear me? No, it's not working.
Sorry.
We need another. I think we need another.
Sorry.
Is it working?
No, it's not.
Otherwise, I can. I can try without. Can you hear me at the back? Yes. Okay. So good morning. Can I try? Despite my. Now it's working. Yes. My apologies. I have a bad cold at the moment. Honorable State Minister, Mr. Negusi Geber-Manuel, esteemed ILO colleagues, Director, Mr. Musindo, dear colleagues from Geneva, dear partners and colleagues here around the table, I'm very happy to see you all, and a very good morning to you all. And as a relative newcomer to Ethiopia, maybe that's the reason of my cold, I come straight now from Bangladesh, where it was a bit warmer. But again, it's a great honor for me to be present here today at the ceremony for the establishment of the Business Development Service Provider Association of Ethiopia. And I think that's a great milestone of the Prospects partnership that the Netherlands has initiated a couple of years ago and recently been encouraged and pushed for by all the colleagues here of ILO, and not to forget all the trainers that have indicated the importance of this association. And let me go back a little bit to, let's say, 2016, when this whole, and our dear colleague from Geneva has explained a bit about the structure of the Prospects program. Because in 2016, I was the head of Horn of Africa unit at the Ministry of the Netherlands for the Horn of Africa unit. And then this whole program and the design came into existence. And we, as was already said, we really thought for every single country, there must be a way how we really look into the local context and really see what is needed and work with those partners, including the most important authorities on these matters, to create a program that is needed for both refugees and host communities in order to establish more and better socioeconomic development. So that was back in the days. And you can imagine that for me being here so many years later, 6 years later, it's such a great honor for me to be here in Ethiopia as Deputy Ambassador and really see that the Prospects Partnerships is thriving, and that really so many trainers have been trained and really have the appetite and the drive to be associated, to really make a difference for those people that they will give services to, services that will make a difference for their for business, to really create a livelihood, to make sure that they have a prospect for a better life. So again, also with that personal background, it's an honor to be here. And let me share again a few remarks on the program as such, and why we think as the Netherlands it's still important to continue with this partnership, including these important activities of the associations and the trainers that will make a difference for so many people. Because the situation of refugees and migrants continues to receive considerable attention, both in the Netherlands and internationally, because many refugees, but also the host communities, have insufficient access to employment and basic services like education. And again, as was already mentioned, the Prospects Partnerships really focuses on this development-oriented approach for long-term crisis, but with really integrated solutions that are durable for the time to come and that make a difference for people's life and really connect the refugees and host communities for those people who are most vulnerable. I will not mention again the partners, but again, I think this is a wonderful feature because for real good success and results, it's very important to work together. So the 5 partners of the Prospects Partnership here in Ethiopia, they support together those government-led efforts to strengthen the systems. And we're very grateful to the Ethiopian government to continue to push for that because the needs are so high. And again, those partners, they promote inclusion, socioeconomic development for all those forced displaced persons, including their host communities. And we believe the private sector development is really an important angle to that. Because with private sector and small business, people can make a change. It can really create livelihood. It will eventually create jobs. And this is really where we see the longer term solution can be for those vulnerable communities. I would say, I would also like to mention the issue of youth. Because of course, every single year, so many young people come out of education if they've had good education. But then the challenge remains how to get into the jobs. And in line with our Youth at Heart strategy, the Netherlands continues to invest in education, work, and intervention that improve economic participation of young people. We do that in many different spheres, including in this Prospects initiative. But again, the whole idea is that it's all about taking charge for yourself and get empowered to know how to set up a business, even if it's so small, even if it's bigger. The trainers that have associated now in these associations will make that difference and coach them to the next level of their success. We also, parallel to this, we continue to support the business climate improvement through initiatives such as IFC and the Ethiopian government that is really working hard to the ease of doing business. Again, we believe private sector development is a key element for further sustainable socioeconomic development. And I'm very proud of all the trainers that will be associated in this association, will make that difference for those people who would really have their small and bigger dreams to become entrepreneurs and to work on this together with you, associates or members. I'm also looking at the screen, Mr. President, for this important association. And I would like to compliment the effort of the Prospects Partnership and ILO colleagues for their efforts in building those local capacities so that refugees, returnees, and vulnerable host communities are really able to create better prospects for themselves. And again, congratulations to the Business Development Service Provider Association, because you will play a crucial role in that. Thank you very much. Amaseganalo. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Paula. Indeed, we appreciate that the private sector has been involved and how much it can bring changes has been recognized by both ILO and other supporting partners. Now, the next person to give us a statement of support will be His Excellency Attorney Sutlam, the State Minister of Labor Affairs and Skills. Welcome.
Good morning and welcome to Addis. For those of you who came from out of Addis, dear Alexio Musedo, ILO Country Director, and dear Paula Schinder, Deputy Head Mission of the Kingdom of Netherlands, honorable guests, dear participants, and ladies and gentlemen, it is a great pleasure for me to welcome you all to the launching event of the establishment of the Business Development Service Association of Ethiopia. I am honored to be part of this launching event and look forward networking with all of you in time permission. In Ethiopia, the unemployment rate has reached 8.8% as of 2021, and it is estimated that there are 2 million new entrants into the labor market every year. By assessing the gaps in the job creation agenda, we have developed the plan of action to create 3 million jobs each year, taking a 1 million backlog into account to reach 20 million sustainable jobs by 2030. The unemployment and job creation plan for the budget year 2022-23 is 3.7 million, of which 60% of the jobs to be created from enterprise formation. Honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, according to the study conducted 2 years before, startup enterprises failure rate in Ethiopia is 75%. We earnestly know that this is one of the biggest challenges hindering the national jobs and employment prospective plans implementation. These failure rates are aggravated by gaps in skill mismatch, lack of employability skills, poor access to finance, and weak institutional capacity building efforts at all levels, especially on one-stop service centers. These one-stop service centers are the lowest institutions that are found at the grassroots level of our structures, whereby job seekers are registered, made ready for training, and supported by government supporters like access to finance, access to land, and market linkages. But the problem here is these institutions, these centers are ill-furnished, ill-equipped, and low-capacitated. So our major agenda in the job creation arena is to improve these centers. So for startups and enterprises to pass the day's value curve, that means the period in the life of a startup in which it has begun operations, but has not yet generated revenue. We are working on building business-friendly ecosystem by ensuring the implementation of job-rich macroeconomic policies through stakeholder mobilization and the private sector active participation. In this regard, I want to appreciate the formation of such associations as which serve as supporting endeavors of the government at hand. To maintain this momentum, the Ministry of Labor and Skills is uniquely organized to help lubricate the implementation of the homegrown economic policy and the 10-year perspective plan from which the job creation plan of action is drawn. We as ministry have unwavering focus on solving the above mentioned bottlenecks through expanding the business development service, BDS provision at grassroots level among other national efforts. Parallel to this, we are promoting entrepreneurship competition, idea financing, and family business campaigns throughout the country. This can assist entrepreneurs to run their business more effective and, if appropriately applied, can act as an enhancer of access to finance and as alternative form of collateral and quotation in circumstances where tangible collateral is an impediment to meet. In all, it all helps startups to solicit funds from friends and family and get seed money and crowdfunding. Ladies and gentlemen, we have witnessed from our experiences through strengthening business development services, service providers is a key to fulfill employability skill gaps while ensuring the sustainability of enterprise. Hence, we are excited to see the establishment of the Business Development Service Provider Association of Ethiopia. In this regard, on behalf of the Ministry of Labor and Skills and myself, of course, I would like to thank the International Labour Organization, ILO, our solid partner, for all the initiatives and practical implementations in the expansion of BDS. This recently has provided training and certified to Ethiopians as trainers in the area of financial education, gender and entrepreneurship, and start and improve your business in Addis Ababa and Somali region under prospects. ILO also has taken initiative of facilitating establishment of the Business Development Service Provider Association of Ethiopia to effectively and sustainably cascade the aforementioned trainings to the beneficiaries and business communities. I am also very much thankful for the certified trainees who took the commitment of establishing this association. I would like to assure you we are ready to work with you and avail at your disposal. I thank you all for your kind attention and wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I think we need another applause because it was a very good speech that we heard from the minister, and then it's in our side because as an association, we are here today to listen to your supports and to be energetic with that. Because when we were establishing with these issues, when we bring this issue with ILO, they were very supportive, and we were afraid that even if the government can support, go with it or something like that. But today we have make sure that the government is also in our direction, and we're happy that. Thank you. So finally, I will invite Mr. Tahir to give a statement of support. Mr. Tahir is the Somali Regional State Cooperative Bureau Office. So thank you.
Good morning. Before I proceed my remarks for this event, just to remind you, we missed an important point at the beginning. The organizers, they missed. It is introduction. Who are in the room? From where? I think we missed that, very important, because we don't know each other. However, no problem. We will introduce each other during the coffee or the other meeting at the event. Thank you. Thank you very much, distinguished guests, honorable, and representatives from different associations, civil society, federal government, and also regional officials or representatives in this room. Thank you very much. Really, it's my pleasure to be here today for this event, coming from Somali region, where this event is very important for it, because having such association in our region is really kind of very fruitful, because it is needed such kind of association to be there in Somali region. And also I want to thank the ILO to organize and also provide support to establishment of this association. Thank you. I think if I just a little bit touched some points because of this association establishment in Somali region, when you see we have a lot of graduates from different colleges and also institutions, but maybe you might find still a lot of a number of graduates are on the ground without job because of lack of skills. The environment in some area, maybe they need such kind of association to be supported and giving training, capacity building, and skills, entrepreneurship also. So you may find a lot of young people just looking to get a job from the government offices. Long queues, just see, you know. And most of them, they need to be built their skills through this association really, which is very important. And also, I think such association, it helps a lot. Even when you look at the refugee camps, we have a lot of refugee camps in Somali region, where maybe also a lot of young people, refugees, need such kind of skills to be built in their area, respective area. So I hope the association, first of all, I would say congratulations. We are very happy to have such association in national level and also in Somali region, which is going to help you brief a lot and also build the capacity of the young people, and also considering a lot for the prospective project which is running in Somali region, supported by the ILO. I think when we are talking about the partnership, it's very important partnership. Whenever we establish things, it's very easy. But through the implementation, through the partnership, that is the way we can achieve our goals. And I think now in ILO, to our experience for the time being, in Somali region is very important and very excellent, really. They worked with us. They came many times in Somali region and also organized a lot of trainings. Even these people, certified people now in the association, without them, very difficult to have such people, you know, certified. Also a lot are there. And also, State Minister already mentioned it, for federal level and also regional level. We are very happy and we are ready to support and facilitate whatever related to this, implementation of such association and providing skills to our people. That's very good. But I would say, but why? The association, it needs itself now established, recognized, certified. But if you sit back and consider yourself your association and you are not doing a hard job, it will be difficult to attract those who want to support you. You are the one who, puts the support from our pocket as a government, at national level and federal level. When we see you are doing and running, and the purpose of your establishment, working day and night, you are provided all the support. But if you are sitting in the offices and also just the name on the paper, it will be difficult you guys to achieve your goal, and also the community to get the expected output to receive. So you are the one can achieve the attraction of the the environment. As a government, regional and federal level, already the policy level is priority 1, job creation, skills building, all these issues now you are established for is priority 1 real. So you are welcome, and we are here to support you. It is you to push and run and pay more attention and effort to reach that goals you are established for. So my last point is advice for my experience, long experience. You are different, maybe people. Please try to avoid any conflict, any interest, personal interest, run in the association. And even in case happening, try to manage silently and try to look beyond the big picture instead of personal interest, so you can succeed. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Tari, for that nice support and also for the advice we take to consideration. Also, there was one comment that was given from His Excellency Mr. Tari that we have not introduced everyone each other. So that was a good point we learned. We will give you more time at the tea break so that you can know each other and throughout your business cards and network. Before we break for the tea, I will invite one last guest, Mr. Ashanak Demeka, Head of Programs from Refugee and Return Services. If you kindly come here, please, and give some support statement. Thank you.
Good morning, all. It is a good pleasure for me to be here representing the Refugees and the Returning Service, RRS, on the behalf of Dr. Sfawan Gobazi, our Director General. Unfortunately, I'm coming to participate, but thank you for coming to this board. To be on the eyes of you. So as Refugees and the Returning Service, thank you what I mentioned about the presence of large number of refugees. So we have around 875,000 refugees in Ethiopia from different countries, particularly from South Sudan, then from Somalia, from Sudan, and from Ethiopia. They are living in the most of refugee camps. We have around 24 refugee camps. Moreover, they are also living in Addis and other big cities, using about the out of policy, following the comprehensive refugee response framework, the whole society approach, which we are working as a government with different sister government organizations with regional status. So this is also a good opportunity following about the CRRF approach, in which we are advocating, and we are also showing that refugees are not only burden for the country, they also have contribute for the development of the country. Refugees are not always receiving about aid from the donors, but also they can create their own jobs and livelihood, and they will be a global citizen by creating a conducive environment to be self-reliant for them. So for this, we are working together with the Ministry of Labor, including, of course, with different regional bureaus, with higher education institutions, the Ministry of Education. So we are also happy to work with ILO. Of course, we are familiar with Prospect, which we need about further to discuss about more detail on the role and the responsibilities which is expected from Refugees and Return Service as a mandated refugee agency to be one of the area which we are ensured that the protection of refugee in addition to providing about basic and social services. So we are very glad for this business organization establishment. We are always as a board, so representing the voice of the refugees. I can say welcome and congratulations for the establishment of this business association. We are happy to work together at all levels, together with the Labor Minister and all. We are present from head office to the branch as a federal government. So we are very glad and congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ashanafi. So, sorry, I invited you out of the blue, but because you are here, we want to hear from you. So some of our works, especially in Somali region, some of our works are related with refugees. So that's why we need to hear from you. Thank you very much. So it was a very pleasant morning for me. I don't know how it was for you. Was it pleasant? Can you show me with your class? Yeah. Thank you. So now we will break for tea and also for the networking. And then we'll have also a group photo. And then after that, we will return for the remaining some few topics on the process of the establishment, how it goes, how it's going to establish. We talk about that. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant time. Before you go out, please, let's gather here in the group photo. Yeah, outside is no comfortable. Side. Group photo, group photo.
And I'm here.
Thank you very much. Enjoy your food.
Oh, MS, are you? Oh, okay.
Tamiru. Tamiru.
Tiresome, so we need to energize for the next event. I will call on Jerusalem to come to the stage and energize us. This is very common among SIB get ahead in financial education trainings. They are a field of energizers, so we want to experience one.
Hi everyone. Good morning. Good morning. I can hear you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
We need to energize. Pull a little bit. So, everyone. Stand up and sit. Put down all the exercise phone. And so relax your body. Relax. That's one part of the SIM training that makes it very interesting. So we are going to do the coconut energizer. Coconut. I have my chart. So we are going to do or to follow the letters. You know, the letters in the coconut. So yes, drawing. So the first is C, right? So you're gonna say C. Madam. I'm looking at people that are sitting behind there.
And they are not doing a C.
C, you know, C, O, up from you, like a ballet dancer. And go C. Very good. Yes. And now we get O. And N. Touch the ground, you know. You. Put your hands with, and then T. So we are going to do it faster now. Okay. C. O. C. O. N. U.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you for the energizer. So now we'll proceed to our next events. So now I'm going to call up on Mr. John. So, John Best. Johnny, sorry. Johnny, Program Manager of ILO, to present prospect partnership with supporting the establishment of BDSPE network or association. I think I can give you this one.
Hello, can everyone hear me? Yes, okay, great. Ah, wow, feeling energized, huh? Thank you. This is one of the things you learn, right? So if you have friends who are interested to become SIYB certified, tell them it's not all about work, it's also a lot of fun, right? We learn life skills. So yes, it is really a pleasure to welcome you all to this important event. Today we are not just establishing the BDSPE Association of Ethiopia. We also want to make sure that it is understood that this network of members also focus on forcibly displaced populations. Right? This is not just another generic association. It has a specific flavor, right? All the members, all the people you see around you, there are 20, they've been through an entire cycle of certification. If I can take you back almost 2 years ago, I'll take you back to March 2020, at the beginning of COVID. This is when the ILO started conceiving of this integrated approach, right? We were looking at how do we engage better with host and refugee communities. As part of the Prospect partnership, we work on 3 pillars of intervention: education, skills. How do we train students in market relevant skills so that they can transition out of school into the labor market? So this is skills. We have another pillar, which is jobs and livelihoods. And then the third pillar of Prospect is social protection. But there was a missing link. The missing link was between education and jobs. And this is what Ato Tahir emphasized. You've got a lot of students. Going to school is easy, right? You go, you study, you get your A's, and then what do you do next? You look for a job, either wage employment, self-employment, but you don't have the business acumen, you don't have the know-how, you don't have that basic financial grounding to start your enterprise. You don't even know where to go. You don't even know where to look for assistance. So that missing link, so that's what we decided, okay, let us create a pool of national certified trainers. They will go through an entire cycle. They will first receive, and that's why I'm taking you back to March 2020, they will first receive a TOT. A TOT is a boot camp. It is not easy. It's a full week where you are being trained in the principles of business management or financial education, or the other tool is Get Ahead, which is business management that targets beneficiaries with low levels of literacy. So they went through that boot camp of a full week to acquire those basic foundational principles. And that's not it. After that TOT, we asked them, okay, to become a certified trainer, you have to go back to your communities and cascade. You have to roll out. You have to deliver trainings to a certain quality level. You have to videotape yourself. You have to write training reports, and our master trainer will evaluate you. And most of them delivered 3 trainings, each of them. 3, sometimes even 4 trainings, right? So that process took about a year and a half. And after that, then they had a certification workshop where the master trainer, meaning financial education, we have our colleague came from Germany, he sat and observed them, the pedagogy, the facilitation skills, and he was scoring them on a daily basis, giving them scores, and there was a debrief. At the end of the day, it's like, that you didn't do well, that you should do better. Why don't you look at people instead of looking at the screen? You know, get them a lot of feedback. So I think an hour and a half every evening. That was for the financial education process. I don't know about the SIYB, but it was equally rigorous. And then they were certified, right? So we're very happy that these 20 members, they went through the entire cycle and are now joining the global ILO family, right? We've got thousands around the world of ILO certified trainers. So now it's not, I mean, the world is your oyster. Now you can go to Uganda, Kenya, Mozambique, and be an ILO certified trainer and train different communities. This is what I wanted to emphasize, the whole process it took you. We have, most of you are from the Somali region, some are from Addis Ababa. One lady is from Bahadar, Almas. She's not here, Almas. So yes, now we have to look at the next steps. Before the next steps, I wanted to let you know about the missing link. Yes, so we've established this Business Development Association so that the youngsters finishing college now have a place to go. Whenever they want to look for jobs or they want to start their business, they can call upon you to acquire this training in business management or financial education. So you are serving a need. There are not many associations like yours. And again, yours is as a flavor. It is focused on refugee hosting communities. This is the peculiarity of it. which makes it unique. In terms of the next step, there's a lot of things we can start putting on the table. Number one, linkages. So you will need in the future to establish linkages with universities. Let's say GGA universities, the JPTC Technical College, the employment centers, the OSS that His Excellency Atilaou Neguse mentioned, the one-stop shop. People go there to look for jobs. There should be reference mechanisms so that they can refer to your association. So they can call you and say, hey, we need your support. So this is one thing you should look into. As part of the ILO, business management training is important. It helps create jobs. But that's not it. You also need to coach and mentor these enterprises and ensure that working conditions are respected, international labor standards, occupational safety and health. So at the ILO, we also have these training modules where we train our constituents in labor standards, in how do you, for example, go to a micro enterprise and take them from an informal setup to a formalized. How do you get them registered? So you see, your influence goes beyond training in business management. You can think in a year to come, yes, I can go back, and if they want to be registered, transition to the formal sector, I can help you. Or if they want to learn about labor rights, labor issues, I can train you, right? ILO doesn't have to do that. We don't have to find someone from Geneva to give a training on international labor standards. You can do that too. So you see, this is really the beginning. There's a lot, let's say sky is the limit. I mean, there's a lot you can do if you have the vision for, right? So, so I don't want to go into too many details, but I think I've sort of outlaid the spirit of this partnership. You're an association, we are here to help. And then if you need to develop partnerships, linkages, you need to be trained in additional content, we are here to continue the help. The help of the ILO does not stop today. We will accompany you in the remaining months and years so that you can fully deploy your competencies. Again, this is a project. It has a limited lifespan. This ends in a year and a half prospect. But your association will endure, right? One day I'll go back to my country, the team will work on something else, but you are there to endure the test of time. So in the next, because we've got about 18 months. So take advantage of ILO prospect for the next 18 months to prepare yourself to go beyond. Well, let me stop here. If you have any questions, I don't want to take the spotlight, and our colleagues will speak soon.
So before we go, thank you, David. Very descriptive about the procedures of certification in the programs that we have. But we have additional presentations on the interventions that are done by that are being done by ILO prospect projects, namely the 3 types of trainings that I already mentioned them: the starting improving business, the get ahead, gender and entrepreneurship, and also the financial education. So I will invite some of our colleagues to further elaborate what are these trainings, what is the objective, and how is the certification process, what was the impact. After that, we will open it for questioning and discussion. So I will give you very few minutes, considering the time we have. First, Kader Gaz, we will be taking the stage and present about. Kader Gaz is Faisal will bring out the PowerPoint presentation. Kader Gaz is a trainer in Get Ahead. He has been conducting several trainings in that area, and also SOIV, a certified SOIV trainer. So the stage is yours. Thank you. Thank you very
much. Good morning, everybody. It's my honor and privilege for me to be here today. My greeting
the guest analysts, government officials, NGOs, officials, and international NGO officials, and other organizations from and officials from regionals and federal level, and ILO in general, and prospects especially. Thank you very much, Alon. I'm going to present here gender and entrepreneurship together training is one of the packages of ILO, rather than other trainings of SIYP and financial education. This is one of training which is based on mainly on gender perspective. I will summarize in the same package or focus of the training. Get Here training is a gender sensitive entrepreneurship training program originated for female or women, but not excluding men. But mainly, the training is conducted 80% or 75% must be included by women. Mainly the women and this training is always designed for low literacy or basic numeracy background women and men. And sometimes we can say in general for illiterate, especially designed for illiterate women. The training aims to provide better access to business skills training using interactive and hands-on activities. Mainly, it's innovative in its approach and highlighting the essential entrepreneurial skills from gender perspective. Mainly, the training is on practical and on participation, experience sharing. It's also attempts to address some of the barriers providing basic skills for management or of business, as well as leadership and effective communication, because it has, as we see in the later slides, you will see the components, which may be, some of them will be the soft skills. The overall objectives of this training package for gender and entrepreneurship training, or Get Ahead, is one, enabling women, men, and families to make better business decisions for increasing their income generating activities and opportunities. One of the main targets or objectives are decision makers for increasing their income generating activities and opportunities. Second, promoting women's economic empowerment in communities that are traditionally disadvantaged or marginalized. And the third is contributing to the social and economic development of women and men living in conditions of poverty. These are the overall objectives of Get Ahead or gender entrepreneurship training. The components or contents of this training package has two different manuals, the trainer guide and the participant workbook, and three main parts with 10 modules. The first module, or first and second, will be at the introduction of gender and Get Ahead and the gender considerations in entrepreneurship development. Mainly, it's focused on biological understanding gender dimension overall, whether it's biological roles, social roles, social norms, productive, reproductive role, and different roles of men and women in entrepreneurship. The second module, or which is 3 up to 7, it's a business developing business plan, or developing viable business plan that can consolidate the business idea. This is my focus on 5 main parts of developing the business plan. One for marketing, operations, finance, people management, and risk management. So these are different parts of the developing viable business plan for the business gender entrepreneurship training. During the training, and they may have a lot of exercise during the night and in the weekends. The last 2 modules or 3 modules, 8 to 10, are soft skills, dedicated for soft skills. These soft skills may be effective communication, negotiation skill, and decision making, maybe decision making in business, family decision making, sales speech, networking, all are as important as hard business skills are important, and then these soft skills are very important in developing and growing successful businesses. The training has a flow-up part, which different from the other trainings. It has a coaching formats and log templates, basically coaching with a gender lens. The uniqueness of this gender entrepreneurship training. What is this gender entrepreneurship training or get it different from the other trainings? Number one, it differs from conventional other training programs. It seeks to develop entrepreneurship skills from gender perspective. And the other, getting incorporates both training support in the form of coaching and includes features designed to help participants' training experience, flexibility, active learning, personal both training support, evolutionary process, gender dimension is open to all. So, and training may have, there is a flexibility since the female do not have time comparable to men, and they may have a lot of roles in the home. This might be different or flexible time. Maybe it can have 5 consecutive days, or it can be scheduled over 1 week, weekly once, or can be spread out over time, according to their availability. Open to all means Get Ahead was originated designed for women. This program is open to both women and men and has been implemented successfully in mixed gender groups, as well as groups with mixed skills and literacy levels. The target group of this training, as I have already mentioned it, is designed for developed primarily for adult women who are semi-literate and may be excluded or do not fully benefit from standard business skills training programs due to their complexity and target audience of individuals with high level of informal education. The main target is, we know that the main businesses, small and micro businesses, are run by female or women, who are most of them are semi-literate. Despite the program's unique focus, Get Ahead is also appropriate for people or groups with the following characteristics: mixed literacy and education levels, mixed age groups, and mixed gender. For the methodology, it's not so much different from other ILO trainings. It's a participatory and action-oriented using real-life experience of participants and building about these for lessons for better business management. The training flows the cyclical process based on experiential learning, where the participants draw on their personal experience and knowledge as part of their learning. Reflections are always considered, and group work emphasizes our collective approach to learning and build on the varied knowledge and experience of the participants attending from the gender entrepreneurship training. The training progressively builds the content for each module, drawing from previous exercise, all are the while integrating participant experience and existing knowledge of the participants attending the training. For the certification part, the training has 2 levels of certification. One is for trainers and the other for lead trainers. For trainers, Get Ahead trainers can deliver trainings to potential or current small-scale women and men entrepreneurs, or TOE, training of entrepreneurs. Get Ahead trainers might also be certified to provide both training support in the form of coaching, not only giving the training, but also the coaching or follow-up. And for the lead trainers, Get Ahead lead trainers can deliver trainings both trainer candidates and potential or current small-scale women and men entrepreneurs. They are selected by the ILO from the pool of certified Get Ahead trainers and flow an additional lead trainer certification process that includes further training, coaching, and hands-on experience in the trainers. And the main important thing for the certification of ILO trainings, not only conducting the trainings and coaching, but the most important is the reports. Get ahead training reports are key to certification and even recertification. Maybe recertification and certification, the main important thing is the submitting the reports. Lastly, outcome is measured by doing a lot of coaching, mentorship, various post-training support is continuous follow-up to visit their business areas or through digital platform, if possible. In conclusion, this is my appreciation. It's time to extend my best appreciation to ILO for its outstanding support, equipped with full skills behind the knowledge, with supportive international training package based on business development. And it's really understandable that the long term that altered for more than thousands of local micro and small businesses in the different regions of the country to handle for today's inflation that impacted entire people's lifestyle around the world. And therefore, the local business owners come up with the courage to produce their local production and sustain their business to avoid business failure by building the capacity. Lastly, I'm going to thank the knowledge ILO equipped us and the experience we acquired has resulted to establish this national BDSPE association, which is nationally inclusive, equipped with the knowledge, skills, experience, capacity building, and dedication to all the business development skills over all the country. My special thanks go also to our honorable federal government of Ethiopia for giving the opportunity to contribute our knowledge and skills whatever towards economic development of the country. I would like to sum up with thanking executive members of the association for the dedication to reach the association in this stage. And I would like to lastly, I'm going to grab the microphone to thank ILO Country Office, in Addis Special ILO Country Director, Alexio Busiro, and Prospects Program Manager, Johnny, ILO officers and staff for their technical and financial support for the publication of the association.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Karim, for your presentation, and I think you have grasped some knowledge about and understanding about what GetHigh is, how ILO prospect program try to inculcate gender and entrepreneurship together. That's one. The second package is SIYB, or Start and Improve Your Business. So since I'm also the host, I'm taking the mic and I'm going to present myself. I have the power for that. Okay, so yeah, thank you. Start and Improve Your Business is perhaps a very famous type of program. What is it about? It is a business management training program with additional benefits on it. The first thing that I want to say the benefit is it can be adapted as you want, because the material is available from ILO. And then if you want to change the sector, you can change the sector. And it can be given for women, it can be given for youth and social entrepreneurs. It's not only for profit makers. So we can also give the training for social entrepreneurs. Then also it has sectoral adaptation in tourism, green business, construction. We have seen some examples from Sri Lanka, from other countries that they have adapted in different ways. So it's very adaptive. Then the package has 4 modules or 4 different programs or trainings by itself. The GYB, SYB, IYB, and EYB. GYB means generate your business idea. So this training is provided for potential entrepreneurs who may not have a business idea. They want to do something, but they don't even know what they want to do. So we are supporting them in generating their idea. Then the second one, SYB, starts your business. That means they have come up with a concrete business idea. Now they go to the next stage. We say that in SYB, we graduate trainees from stage to stage. Those who have successfully graduated GYB will join SYB. or if they already have an idea, we can start them from SY. They don't have to go to the GYB because they have their idea. They want to write a business plan, so we take them to the next stage. IYB is improve your business for those who have an existing enterprise, an existing business, and they have some difficulty. So IYB is very wide. It have around 7 modules under it. It can be marketing, it can be people in productivity, it can be record keeping. We have to know what is the problem with the business, and then we can give them a specific training on that. EYB is for expanding. Once a business has been successful, it has to grow. It doesn't have to stay where it is. So we will also provide training to expand the business beyond its horizon. So these are the package. The objective, the first objective is to enable local business development service or BDS providers to effectively and independently implement business startup and improvement training. We have a lot of business development service providers. We are also creating an association today. But what we have seen in the country is that everybody give a training as they want with different aspects, something like that. So SYB gives you a direction to make it standardized, to make it modularized, and to make it somehow having a common way of going in it. So it helps us, especially for business development service providers, for those which are coming from that area, from the private, also from the non-governmental organizations, to give them as a direction how to use it. Also, in terms of participants and in terms of the beneficiaries, to enable women and men to start viable business, to increase the viability of existing enterprises, and to create quality employment for others in the process. That's why it is it runs with the policy of or the mission of ILO, which is one of them, which is creating decent work. It goes directly with that, because those who are trained and are going out of the program will have their own jobs, not only for themselves, but also they can employ others. So that are the objectives of these trainings. Who is the targets? Who can work with us? Because we cannot work alone. When you provide the training, you need someone to work with you. Government can be one, donors can be others. We also have business development service providers, like the associations that we are creating, and also NGOs, those which are working in youth employability, entrepreneurship, and other aspects. Nowadays, we have a lot of NGOs. We are getting lucky. At some point, we were running alone. We were talking alone about this issue, but now we have a lot of them. Mastercard Foundation is here. We have their support in this area. Mercy Corp is working in this area. You can name them a lot, so that they can be beneficiary in this working, collaborating. Potential and existing small-scale enterprises can also be. We don't have that habit yet. I think some of the trainers can support them in this one. In our country, we don't have enterprises who are willing to pay for a training. We have not reached to that level. Experiences from other countries like Kenya tells us that enterprises come to the SYB training, they pay for the training because they know that after they get the training, they're gonna benefit the business. We are not there. Is that the result? But we are hoping for that. Until that, we work with NGOs and providers. The key actors, we have SYB Global National Coordination, which is control overall. And then after that, we have master trainer developers. Then we get master trainers, and then we have trainers. And then finally, as you can see, startups, micro and small enterprises. So this is the marketing or the branding is done by the master trainers and the master trainer developers. Once you are a trainer, you remember what our master trainers say. Once you are a trainer, you are an ambassador and a brand of SYB. Wherever you go, whatever you do, you represent ILO and you represent SYB program. So that's why we say these are the above three, the master trainer developer, the master trainer, and the trainers are markets or marketers or brands of the program. To see how it is affecting the outcome in terms of worldwide, you can get this data from the gateway. By the way, before I forget, one of the highest quality I like about SYB is the reporting mechanism. Because it has its own gateway. You report online, and then anyone who have access to that can see what you are doing, your activities, how it has been. We generate that. This is generated from that. You can see that it have already covered more than 100 countries are part of your SYB program. Partner organizations are around 10,000, above 10,000. There are around 400 plus master trainers in the world. Jobs are created around 10.4 million. 55,000 trainers around that, and also 23.7 million entrepreneurs trained. So you can see that how it's influential, how it is affecting the world. I can say that, you can correct me if I'm wrong, we are a little bit behind. Because if you see the experience of other African countries and the experience from China and Sri Lanka, it's very amazing what they have done. So we need to cope up with that. We need to cope up with that. The learning materials, as I already said, we have 4 learning materials: generate your business idea, start your business, improve your business, and expand your business. Under improve your business, we have these modules, as you can see them. 6 modules are there. Each of these have a trainer guide and also a participant manual. So that's how it's designed. But what makes SOIB different from others and unique is the game. The SOIB business game, the simulation games that we use to train, what makes it very interesting. Even if you want to sell it, some of the difficulty is that sometimes you go to some donors or you go to some NGOs, I have this training program, I have this something like that. Okay, give me your proposal, I'll look at it, they say. You may drop your proposal, they may never look at it because they are busy, but the game is one of the means by which you can get attention and easily catches. So I think that's what makes it very different from others. So trainer and master trainer materials are there. The trainer guide, as I already said, and also master trainer guide. It outlines trainer competencies, provide guidance so that we can have some of standardized means of delivering the training. We want to create an atmosphere by which if I am conducting an SOIB training, and if you are conducting an SOIB training, somehow it has to be standard. We don't have to give a very far apart. There is individual competency, I know that, but still we can keep the standard by following this Bibles. We call them the Bibles for the trainers or the guides. So the step in implementing, the steps in implementing, when we want to implement the SOIB, the first is the market assessment. There are the 7 steps that we follow always. So we have to know how we can address the market, who is going to support us, and then select partner organization. We say we cannot do it alone, so we have to find a partner organization, and then adapting or translating materials. The materials are open access. This is done by ILO, which is they are very gracious, by the way. So they make it open access. So we can translate it. It has been already translated in Amharic, in Somali, and also, I'm not sure if there is a Romi, but I heard that. So this makes it very easy for giving training. And also you can adapt it. Adapting in a sense means you can add, without affecting the content of the manual, you can add sector materials. If you want to give it for social entrepreneurs, you can call it social entrepreneur GIB. Or for women, you can make it like that as you want. So that is it. Trainer development, we have to have trainers that are ready for this. Then training entrepreneurs, then there will be master trainer development, and finally we have monitoring and evaluation. So this is the cycle. The trainer development or training of trainers cycle. We have the TOT cycle and the TOE cycle. So I think most of you have passed through this process to be certified as a trainer. First, we have to be selected as a potential trainer. Selection criteria is there, you know that. And then we have to attend the attending the workshop, as Johnny was saying earlier. The TOT is not an easy thing, it was a tough. It's like a boot camp, it's very demanding. In the day, you have to attend the training. In the night, you have to prepare materials, and the next day, you have to come in present. It was challenging that you have to experience that. And then after attending the TOT, we have to execute. And the executing will be the TOE cycle. So when we reach to number 3, as you can see, we have another circle of TOE. So each participant of the training should have to go out and make a rollout of the training. I'm not going to repeat it because Johnny has already explained it earlier. So they see that whether we are capable of conducting the training on the TOEs. Once we finish that has also its 7 steps that need to be followed. We have to market it, select participants, we have to conduct training need analysis, and then design the training training workshop delivery, then there will be follow-up. We don't simply train entrepreneurs and let them go. We have to see where they are. As a rule of thumb, at least one trainer should have to look after 1 or 2 businesses. There's another one business. Counseling or follow-up, and then monitoring and evaluation. Yeah, the reporting formats, you feel that. When you finish this cycle, and then you'll attend competency reinforcement workshop. If you are, one thing that I always admired about ILO is that if you spend more than 1 or 2 years without doing any activity, they say that what? You are dormant, you are inactive, so you need to refresh again. So you may be supposed to take competency reinforcement workshop to remember the things that you have forgotten, and then it goes to certification of trainer. Even from these 2 circles, you can see how much it is difficult to get certified as a national trainer, let alone a master trainer. This is for the sake of the quality. That's why SOIB trainers or master trainers are highly qualified, and they have the highest status of delivering the training. So the SOIB trainers develop to respond to the demand of the training potential in existing entrepreneurs. It's based on that, and then they are be trained as master trainers and then provide sustainability for the program. Once you train to be a master trainer, the sustainability of the SOIB is on you. You have to market it. You have to increase the number of participants and the number of trainers so that it can stay alive. So by itself, it creates sustainability. By itself, it creates sustainability. Once you are a master trainer, you are supposed to continue the existence. So whether there is prospect project, whether there is ILO or not tomorrow, we have to continue because we have the responsibility we take. So the trainer certification, as I already told you, once you have qualified these things, the minimum requirement, trainer candidates should complete the above steps for the relevant SOI package. So we have to conduct that under the supervision of the master trainer, and then trainer candidates should develop a client case study and submit to the master trainer. This is for national trainers. Out of the participants from the enterprises or the entrepreneurs, we have to select some case study and we have to submit our reports. And then trainer candidates should score sufficiently on the trainer performance update form and deliver at least 1 TOE in 2 years. If not, the ILO will classify him as non-active. The gateway, once you are certified, you don't only get certificate. In most trainings, what we do in this country is that you get a certificate of participation or certificate of recognition finished. But what makes ILO different is that in the gateway, your name will be listed as a national trainer in the global database of ILO. That means anyone that wants to work with you can find you from any part of the world. And that's very advantageous. Your name will be listed as trainer or master trainer based on your level. But okay, if you are not active for 2 years, that will be revoked and you will be dormant money. Sorry, I think I took more time. So this is a process that I've already explained. Any questions and comments? Thank you. So I put my hat off I'm a host again. Okay. And I'll invite Mr. Faisal to present about financial education. The third package that is remaining will be presented by Faisal. The stage is yours.
Thank you. Can you give me the mic?
I become very friendly with the mic.
Yeah, you become like.
And also the point.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Even to Balavit. So, good morning, everybody, and thanks for giving me the opportunity. Now, I will take you through a bit of overview about the business development service providers establishment process, and then I will give you a short summary about the financial education training program. Because as already has been said, these business packages consist of I think 3 main. One is the SIYB, which is just presented by Ashanafi, and then the Get Ahead, which is also another important component, which considers the gender aspect as well, and then the financial education program. So these 3 programs are, our main pillars that we are going to, to carry on in our endeavor, running the business development service providers service association. So the ILO has been generous, as already been said. So over 20 Ethiopians have been certified in financial education, get ahead training, and then SIYB packages. So these, the statistics is like this: 7 are certified in financial education, 10 are already certified in, or are on the way to be certified in, in Get Ahead, and then 15 has already been certified in SIYB. Start and improve your business program. There are also 4 candidates, national master trainer candidates, that are going to be certified maybe soon if they qualify. you know how it is. Yeah, the process is rigorous. Yeah. So all these trainers are certified under the Prospectus project. So the ILO and the Prospectus are very generous. Thanks to them and those who are behind this. Thank you. Yeah. So Prospect is not coming out of a vacuum. Huh? There are donors behind that. So we thank to the government of the Netherlands as well. Thank you so much. So all trainers are certified under this. The trainers are based in across the region, in Addis, in Somali region, in the Amhara region. So we are more diversified, I think. Yeah. As a result, the training beneficiaries will be able to escape from poverty. I mean, the aim or the objective of doing this is to build the local capacities, the national capacities, to deliver standard and or accredited training, business training programs to the local trainers. And as a result, the trainers will also train enterprises, individuals, and then it will contribute the efforts of reducing the poverty, enabling businesses and individuals. So this is the objective. Now the establishment process was like this. One is these people were certified. 10 of the 20 certified people or trainers have met, and they discuss it on how to effectively and sustainably cascade the training program to the end users or to the end beneficiaries. Then the idea was floated. ILO was also supporting in the process. So the idea or the concept was that idea I was proposing to establish BDS providers in the country based on by these certified trainers, and then the discussions have been going on for a while, and members had various meetings in Addis and Jiga, and then that's how we come up at this stage. All the trained professionals were in favor of the BDS establishment and approved the idea. So that's why we all supported and coming here and joining our forces. And then accordingly, 10 certified trainers had their first virtual meeting. That was also facilitated by ILO, especially Ermias is here. He was supporting that. And then the executive committee members were elected during that meeting to put the foundation forward and go ahead with the establishment of the BDS. And then the name of the business, the name of the business was approved as Business Development Service Providers of Ethiopia. So that's the name that was put forward and approved during the executive committee meeting. Then following the kickoff meeting, all members were called for a general assembly, general meeting. And then people from different regions and cities, they met again virtually and discussed it, the way forward. And they also approved the different, they passed different deliberations, and the delegated the executive committee members to go ahead with the registration process with CSO. So that is the process that we have been going through. Then afterwards, we have been dividing the tasks. Some were, given specific assignments. The president, the vice president, we were really doing a very good job. And those of us who were in the regions were also supporting. So that's how we put the establishment, the establishment of the BDS together. So, so how can we sustain the program? That's also another important, because that once you are established, it's not only that you, of course, Daniel was mentioning this today. So it needs to be sustained and to be successful, right? So then the ball is with us now, with the members, with the support, with the general support of the partners and other institutions and the government. We will try to sustain it. So sustainability means the program to continue beyond prospectus or ILO or any other partner. So how can we make sure that one without getting external support or relying on one project or some? How can we do that one? That's also a question that we need to think and address today. So through the establishment of BDS as an institution, because this association is going to be a legal institute, we will try to maintain the momentum through this institution. That's what we are thinking. So the program will be financially, technical, and institutional sustaining. Instead of running the program individually and spread across the country and here and there, then it's better to be joining together and act as one legal entity, and then approach us, because once we can have a stronger voice with the BDS. That's what we are thinking. So the BDS will provide credible business service to the professionals to better understand the needs, the market, business profitability, social impact. So it will be an institution that can be trusted, relied on, and then different actors and players might be willing to work with once we improve our services as well. So when we join our forces, the program shall be more systematic, more effective, cost-effective way we can do, because individual consultants and BDS, it can be. So we think the BDS will help the sustainability of the program. So that's why why the certified trainer is recognizing this importance and proceeded with the establishment of the BDS. I'm just giving just an idea of how we are thinking. Now let me go to the financial education and give you a bit of overview about the financial education program. Get Ahead has been explained or presented. SIYB has been presented by the two presenters before me. So this financial education is against this backdrop. Access to finance is a fundamental condition. We know that one. It's clear, right? So it's a fundamental or very important condition for poverty reduction, job creation, income generation, and social protection. So people from all walks of life should have certain understanding of financial matters, financial institutions, how to, how they work, what benefits, what risks are. So people should be literate on those financial services. However, the reality is access to finance alone does not automatically yield social and economic benefits. There should be other skills and other factors that are necessary for this to happen. Then workers, entrepreneurs, youth migrant workers must be able to be informed, must be able to make informed decisions about their financial matters in terms of borrowing, saving. People have different projects, different ideas to implement. How can you mobilize resources for that? So understanding, this is very, very important for individuals, for businesses, and for everyone, including institutions. The program seeks to enhance financial capabilities of the financial service users. This is done through developing and adapting financial education, training materials to address the needs of diverse groups in different contexts. So we have, earlier, Johnny was saying that the speciality or the uniqueness of this program. It focuses on refugees as a target audience. It includes the refugees. We work in a refugee setting. So we need to, we will have a diverse group for this program. So offering capacity building and technical support to institutions and partners that wish to develop financial education activities. So we will work with governments, development partners, other institutions, refugees, host communities to capacitate them on financial matters. So the financial education for ILO, financial education is a means to an end, which is that of growing sustainable and shared economies with decent work for all. That is the ILO aspect of. So what are the rationales, the strategies and objectives of financial education? Many people have restricted access to financial services and their knowledge of the same is also limited. That's a fact, the reality. So the lack of knowledge limits their opportunities in employment, life, general life, and increases the risks of being the victims of various scams. Because if you have no knowledge about financial matters, if you don't know how financial institutions work, then you are doomed to fail almost. Or you may be over indebted, you will face a lot of challenges. So the goal of the financial education is to enable individuals make informed decisions in financial matters, to foster responsible and productive attitudes of saving, spending, borrowing, or knowing any other financial product. So this is very, very important. So in terms of methodology and how this program is delivered to the target audience, the methodology chosen is suited to a broad range of target audience, diverse audiences. The most important thing is, in this context, we use fictional characters that represent different backgrounds, different people. For example, in the financial education methodology, you will come across people who are illiterate, uneducated people as a character. In the stories, in the exercises and all these things, you will see urban, rural, rich people, poor people. All these characters are being represented in the financial education as a methodology to make the program easily understandable to its users. So it has 7 modules, which includes these 7 modules, which is the set financial goals with 2 sessions, managing money wisely with 4 sessions, understanding savings products, then using credit facilities wisely and avoiding over-indebtedness, and then choosing a means of payment and money transfer products. And there are simple steps that people will learn through this program, even if they are illiterate, even if they cannot read and write, still they will be able to learn, this process. So they are very much simplified. They establish good relations with financial institutions, then manage risks. And the most important thing is, as Ashanaf has already mentioned, is that the games. These have also games. If for those of you who are attending the financial education program, you remember they showed us the game, how it was effective, how it made understand how it facilitated how it facilitated for the participants to easily understand the content and the objectives of the insurance. The certification, of course, it has a certification process like SIYB and Get Ahead. So for certification to be certified as a national trader, the candidate must attend a complete ILO financial education TOT delivered by certified regional or international trainer, like the process that we have been through. Have a good command of the ILO financial education tool list, and if you don't have good command of financial education, then you might attend an online course to understand the basics, and then you will come to the financial education program, and then you will implement 3 complete training or learning cycles to be certified. These training 3 cyclists are coached and certified by the international trainer. Then the certified regional or international trainer will evaluate the candidates through an assessment. So the certification process is also very intense, and even the workshops are really rigorous, highly intensive, and there is a that has already been explained by Sam. So thank you so much. Again, it's time that we say stop here. So we will be open for questions and answers after this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Faisal. So I hope we are not making you bored. So we are coming to the end of the session and the event. I would like to invite Mr. Freo. Mr. Freo is the accountant for the association, and also you can sit there on the stage. And also Mr. Faisal, the treasurer. So now we have an open discussion until the lunch time, around 30 minutes. Any questions or comments you want to raise, you can raise, and the stage will be open for the participant for the first time. Yeah? We have been controlling the stage until now, so it will not be democratic to live that way. So we'll give you a chance. Any questions or comments you have, and they will respond. Thank you.
Thank you very much for organizing this event. I think it is very mandatory for all of us. I'm a trainer, certified trainer. My question is, how can a new certified trainer join this association, the process? Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Here is my question. My name is Said Mohammed. I'm SRB certified trainer since 2019, as well as potential master trainer. That means a candidate for master trainer. I have already taken the training. The next step that needs to be fully master training is to conduct the training that we hope to conduct next. However, my question is that aside from SIYB or financial or get ahead training, those who are certified in other BDS services, let's say entrepreneurship training and other, there is more training related to BDS. Is there a possibility that they can join this association? That's my question.
So my question is, are the members constitute a member from a refugee or a host community? Do you have a member? And if not,
yes, we have a member.
So he's a trainer also?
Yeah, he's a
Oh.
certified trainer. He is a Thank you.
Okay, thank you. My name is Buled Abdi. I'm also representing the IFC, National Finance Corporation, also part of the prospects, and I have also another hat. So we also provide BDS service in Jijiga, So we also have a constitution, and part of our members are the ones who actually took this training from ILO. And just to ask a few questions, because we see that most of the youth and the entrepreneurs in the country need a lot of support. So we see a lot of efforts being done with a lot of development partners, but there is a bigger challenge, and most of these projects that we see, it's most of the time phase-based. Like it will be like 2 or 3 years or 5 years, and then those services and those activities will actually stop there. So seeing those gaps, we actually established a center in Jijiga. So it's called the Cool Club. So we have already started it in the beginning of this year, around February. We're providing this BDS service. So just to mention those things that you actually have right now, and it's very important to have this association, because it will actually support BDS service providers, incubation centers that are already, I think it's few, but they are already existing in Jijiga. So maybe this association is where they could actually join and actually work with other BDS service providers and benefit from the resources and different kinds of activities in the area. My question is, I was looking at some of the strategies that you guys were presenting to us, and we as a private sector and a BDS service provider in the region, we are seeing a lot of challenges. One of the challenges, whenever we try to provide these BDS services, as you said, a lot of people are not actually willing to pay for those services that we are actually providing. And most of the time, the development partners are providing it for free. And that is causing a problem for the private sector in the area. So I think there must be a way where this market could actually look at, and the association's future activities should have to look at those kinds of things, because even if we try to provide free trainings, people would still ask us money as a part-time. And that's shocking for us as a private sector. It actually takes time. It's obvious. Most of the activities in these areas where we have refugees and these regions, it's most of the time the NGOs providing most of these services. So I think it will also be good to look at those aspects, and it will also be good to actually create a platform. For example, if I am a youth in Jijiga, or I have a startup, or I want to get these trainings, where do I go? That's one question. If I go to those agencies that are actually there, they might not be providing those trainings, or it's not something that's functional. So it will be very important to create a platform where startups, youth can come together and actually share their ideas, access these trainings, things like that. And there are also, existing institutions that are providing these services in the area. So I can mention like 2 or 3 who are providing this incubation and acceleration types of services. So, and also rather than reinventing the wheel, working with those institutions, and also there are platforms like micro mentoring from the Mercy Corps, where the youth could actually get mentorship. So maybe working with them and connecting those dots could actually make this service a bit more effective. And also providing these services to different kinds of institutions like the cooperative agencies, the job creation agency, and other educational institutions, so that these trainings and these materials could actually reach the wider Somali region, rather than only focusing on Jijiga and some refugee hosting areas. So the other part of the regions is mostly forgotten. So that would be a way where you could actually reach the bigger area. So I think if this association could actually work with these BDS service providers in the region, consultants, incubation centers, acceleration centers, that could actually help. So I would be willing to actually do this association and contribute. And we are welcoming you guys. in Jijiga. We also have a center where you guys could come and provide your trainings, have some meetings and things like that. And we can actually provide all those networks and facilities. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We have already get an officer. So, shall we first? Yeah, I think they have to respond for some of the
second round.
I will come for a second round. Della, put your hand down, please. I will come.
Thank you again. Actually, why we make the feedback session at the end is to get celebrate or replicate what we have got from the sessions, and also this feedback session will enable us to discover ways to improve how we are going to manage our sessions in another part. The other things also, it enables us to collect valuable events data from you guys. Now, one of our friends from Somalia have raised a lot of things. That's also one experience that we have got from this event. Also, this feedback session enable us to plan for further. Having this, we are expecting a lot of feedback from you, including the questions and answers. Okay. To go to the questions that were raised, the first were how can I join the association? Is the first question that we raised from one of our friends. Yes, our association is open for those certified, ILO certified trainers. We hope we will go for others, members too. They are welcoming you and others who are certified in those areas. And also, we are looking for others too. The others, also we have the members from the BDS. Yes, we are. One certified the national trainers from small regions, there. So we are very satisfied. Hosting communities, trainers of the community. We have one refugees. Also, we have one prospective trainer, national trainers, is totally blind. One corporate. This is the person with disability. Wages are also there. So we are very satisfied with this.
Okay. Thanks, Hiro. I think you can hear us, huh? Yeah. Are you hearing? Good. Okay, thank you so much. I think some questions have been addressed. The importance of having this is to first know each other and then have a great networking follow-up and discussions. So as my friend said, we are open. We are welcoming those who are already certified, and also our colleague here who has already done our establishing institution there. So we are happy that you are giving us time to come to your office, have meetings, discuss, and use your space. So really, we want to thank you. We will be organizing that.
On that point, sorry.
Yeah.
Any clarification on the process? Two main process.
Yeah. I think to be a member, now we are an institution, you will just approach us. We give you the forms, you will apply, we check only that you are already certified in certain business training packages. And once we confirm that, you will be given the access and you become a full member. Of course, we are going to have serious discussions after this launch event, and then we will have the contacts. We'll give you our contact, and then we'll be in touch. Of course, we will need, now we are organized as a 20 number, but we will need more than that because we cannot even, the country is huge, and we are planning to go even beyond the country. So we will welcome all the members. So you will apply, you will approach us. We will only confirm that you are certified in certain trainings. Then we can accept you as a member of our association. That's the number one. I think Said also has raised similar question on how can certified trainers in other business packages or in other
standard trainings can join this association. I think the same is true for if they are certified on any accredited program, then they will be welcome. Of course, we will have discussions on that. Yes, okay now. So going to this question, this is a problem that we all know. For example, private sector are not willing to come for a training or to increase their knowledge and stuff like that. What they first ask you is for financial benefit in terms of birthday or other package, other things like that. So that is a common problem occurring in the country. We know that it's a problem. It's a problem that the private sector is facing. For example, Goulet, I know he has already established this company in Jiga, but people are not going. They are not their prime. Their main focus is not the knowledge and the skills that they will get from the training or from this program, but rather how much am I getting in the form of birthday? How much? What are you giving me instead? And this is something that we need to break. That we need to confront this. As of course, institutions, NGOs, governments are doing this. It has become just a normal practice for everyone. But we have to be more systematic, and we have to market our program in a way that is different from the ordinary meetings and trainings that the government provides or any other institution provides. We have to flavor it. Okay, we have to sell it. And then, of course, if we do that, and if we are able to show that capability, that skill, that knowledge, I think we can penetrate that, and we can. Of course, it's not a question that I will answer it here alone. We have to do further research and come up with on ideas and strategies to turn around with that practice. It's a practice that needs to be turned around. So it is a problem that we need to solve together, not only the association, but in collaboration with the other partners also. We need to come up, we need to devise a strategy. So you will see how we can avoid. So the burden problem is even projects, other government, other programs, they are facing the same problem. That's why you have harmonized burden for the government as well. So we need to confront that one. So it will come as it. So now another question that has been raised by ladies, like, if as a private individual or a business or enterprise, if I want to get or access these trainings, where do I go? How can I get them? That was the main question, right? So you have already mentioned one that in order to create a platform, that's what we are going to do. We have to have our own addresses digitally as well as physically, and our own platform is where we can advertise the programs. So maybe through website, through TV ads, we have to do a lot of efforts in order to publicize the programs and the packages that we have. So in consultation with the members, with also the support of partners, we have to come up with that. And SIOD programs, they have their own marketing strategies. Programs are marketed. We look for partners. We look for trainers. Trainees. So we will use those strategies as well in order to make the program visible and accessible to all from anywhere in the country. So we will create definitely platforms. We create other means to reach out to the people, and especially the entrepreneurs and elsewhere. Of course, we will not be confined to the refugee setting areas. We will not be confined to the host areas around the refugee. We are a national association, so we will go everywhere. That is, I think, our ambition. We will not only work in Somali region or in Amara region or in Addis. We will go out of the comfort zone. We will go to hard to reach areas, remote areas, rural areas, to take out this program to the beneficiaries. If I am not mistaken, there was another question. There is an idea that other actors or other players are also doing the same thing. Of course, we are not creating the kind of parallel entity that operates independently, but we will, seek their collaboration, and that's why we were saying how can we sustain the program and create a synergy for the program for this BDS association. We will work with all the BDS, those existing ones, and also other organizations that support. So we are not reinventing the wheel. Just we will, because those already existing businesses and in the entities are already a resource. They are available. They have data. They have a lot of information. So we will work with them. We will not escape or run away from them. So I said that the region will be covered. That's also in my answer. Thanks so much. If I have missed it, maybe my colleague can understand. And then we can go for the second round of questions.
Yes. Thank you very much. I think some of the points that I noted, I will leave because it was mentioned by the colleagues already, like the open membership or closed membership. I was asking myself, but now it's open. The other point I was asking myself is that, are you hearing me? Yeah. I was asking whether now you are established association, of course, independent association, and you want to run some huge activities in different regions. So is there a plan? I was asking in your, activities, how are you going to support them? For example, the poor people. You are going to do some, trainings to, capacity those who need some kind of idea. So if people come to you and say, I need training. So are you going to ask to provide some money? Or sometimes you frontier, you capacitate the people frontierly? Or are you going just to raise with the contractors, government offices and NGOs, internationals? Do you have any plan? Of course, you have the right to get some contractors or some such kind of support to continue your work. But sometimes you may face some people are poor people. Those who need your support, those who need to the idea of the commission is important. So do you have in your plan consideration such kind of without any such issues? That's one I was asking. And also, I think the market platform, as my colleague also mentioned, it's very important to give more consideration. And even my kind of plan, sometimes talk about the markets and the opportunities available everywhere, not only in certain area, the big cities. And then, share that information to the people, those who need such kind of information. So, market platform always, which is continuous, discussing and kind of creating different forums is needed. The other issue, also, do you have your plan? We are talking about the business plan, financial, other skills, this issue. We know the Somali livestock for business development, business skills is highly really needed. How the livestock and these products make kind of integration idea. And people are always asking that issue. It runs now as a traditional way, whether it is business of livestock and these products like milk, meat, the skin, everything. So are you going to focus in that area? Giving more training, more idea, more information on livestock and how to use the livestock in a modern way. Agriculture also maybe in the country where that one is available everywhere. Also minerals in Somali region, huge. When I'm talking mineral particular, this salt, a lot are there, salt, and also cement, the raw material of cement, a lot are there. Cement. Even not country consumption as export, can be exported outside, and the country will benefit a lot economic-wise. They also gypsum, what they call it, this nowadays. The gypsum is white. Usually the country imports from Arab countries like Yemen, Saudi Arabia, and other countries. Why not creating kind of education and support and providing the people, and also use that area also very important. I see you guys to give more attention, more support, and also business development plan. Maybe not the least, the last question I was asking myself, have you considered already the gender issue in leadership, in your leadership association? Maybe mistakenly, I don't know whether they are members of the committee. One or two things. Are you considering that? Also, I was asking. The other issue, logistic problem. Yes, you are association. You are like a baby now. This week, you need not take care of until you stand in your feet. So, how are you going to manage to reach different area and fast? Region, particularly Somali region, logistic-wise. That's my concern. I want to share with you.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I'm very delighted to be a member of this association, but now I will speak as a nurse corp. I am from nurse corp. As you know, the nurse corp is an NGO which is working in the Somali region and also another part of the country. So there is a platform that's called the Makamanta platform, which has been launched 3 years ago, and it is funded by different donors. So the main objective of this platform is to support people with business, overcome geographical limitation, and deliver business resources at scale to under-resourced communities around the globe from mentoring. So to reach a large number of people, our association members should join this platform and give proper mentoring to those people, because we cannot reach 100 million people. But when you join this platform, you most likely can reach and give mentoring coaching. So this is the news I'm going to tell you. So the platform, I will share you on the WhatsApp group. So I hope every member of us should join and give material service. So if you give mentoring at least for 3 months, so you will get recognition, training, and also experience sharing. So it depends the number of services you are going to provide. So thank you so much. It's not a question, it is a contribution.
You have a question? So I delegated, when I was out. So now she's taking the mic.
Thank you so much. I think. Okay. Thank you. My name is Yosalim Bakala. I'm one of the recently certified national trainer in Sabwa. One of my questions has been asked by Mr. Tahir. Thank you so much. In the gender aspect of the association, of course. So the other thing is I am also a little bit confused on the amount of certified national trainers that was listed there. There were 22. Does that include us, the recent certified trainers, or are they from another, maybe from the prospect project And I am feeling like we are also part of the association. What's the number of certified trainers? Thank you.
Thanks.
Any other questions or comments? I think it is.
Thank you. I think the lunch time is approaching. That's why people are a bit they seem bored. So we will try to address some of the questions. Okay. How are you supporting the poor people? That was Dahir's question. Huh? Of course, we will be supporting the poor people, and the programs that we are going to run are specifically mostly designed for the poor people. Those people who cannot read, who cannot write, who are disadvantaged, economically marginalized. You know, those people, refugees, hostages. I mean, those poor people can benefit these programs. So if you are asking, like, in terms of cost-wise, like, for example, if you are organizing a training package on financial education or on Get Ahead or on something, or on any of the business programs that we will run, if you are asking about the cost, for example, because we will be charging fees, okay? Of course, if we will try to find a sponsorship for those who are willing, and then we will have on our, in addition to that, we will have on our own strategy on how to provide scholarship, maybe, like just free spaces or cities for certain disadvantaged communities. But that's when we grow and, you know, become a little bit stronger. Huh? Now we will focus on resource mobilization. You know, we will focus on that. But primarily, the content, the programs that we are going to deliver are specifically designed for disadvantaged people, the poor people. So regardless of their race, religion, ethnicity, whatever. So the programs can accommodate these people. And we are going to also accommodate the programs in that way. In terms of marketing, sure, we will have a marketing strategy. One of the strategies will be to create our own platform so that people can access us, can reach out to us, can read what we are going to provide them, our services, the programs that we run. We will advertise all this and come up with these things. Regarding the question on livestock, one thing we need to remember is we are not building the economy as such. You know, the government can invest on the livestock sector, on the mineral, but what we are focusing on is providing the skills, the necessary skills for those who want to work in the livestock sector. For example, if they want to focus or specialize on the maybe milk value chain, meat production, poultry, all these things, we will give them the necessary skills and knowledge to master and, you know, effectively manage their businesses. So we are focusing on that aspect, not putting investment on livestock. We are not the donor, we are not the government. If I got your question, so we will try on that aspect in my of course, friends also will help. Regarding the gender, yes, we have included gender. The vice president of the association is gender. She is Fikr. Unfortunately, she was about to leave the role of Ashanafi, but because of other you know, deadlines and commitments she had before setting this date, the launching event, even she was here in the morning. So at the time of opening, then she has to attend that. And then we have Almas from Bahadar. She, for personal matters, also she was not able to come here. So we are entertaining gender, and we are willing to also accommodate my sister over there and other sisters that will join us. So we are trying to promote, and it's not simply nominating or giving. It is based on the competence and the skills. So anyone who is certified, who passes through this rigorous and highly intensive training program is welcome, or they can join us. Whether they are 1 or 2 or 10, even 100, they can be part of our association. So that's the question. That's the question to your answer. And for Dalha, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to consider the micro-mentor. I think it is going to, we will benefit a lot, because the trainers who have established this association are diverse in terms of language, culture. So we will try to provide the micro-mentoring in many languages as well. So we will take advantage of that platform. Thanks so much. I have left
Thank you. Actually, a lot said by my friend. As associations, we are also responsible to undertake our social responsibility. We are going to give sponsorships and others once we have get started our business, and we will try to participate those who hasn't get finance or other things. We will also raise it. And we have this platform to include the people in need of these types of trainings. So also on the issue of diversifications, we are going to diversify our trainings in different areas on the interest of the groups. ILO has given us the opportunity even to adopt the trainings to specific groups. Fortunately, on our last trainings of trainees for final certification event, we have been giving training for totally disabled peoples. We were adopting that trainings for those disabled peoples, so we can adapt to livestock, minerals, and others. So that it is open to adopt our trainings for the different groups of people. So you are welcome. We're there to support anyone as much as our capacity is there. Even though we didn't get the sponsorships. Sometimes, as an association, at the starting stage of this association, we need for sponsorship and some things, but we will also have the windows with the room to accommodate those groups even without any sponsors. Since we are the part of the society, we have that part. We have also have the responsibility to undertake our social responsibility. Thank you. This is what I want to add.
May I make an introduction? Yeah, I would like to introduce the ILO Global Program Coordinator for Prospect. He's with us. He's Nick Griswood, and he will just offer a remark on the sustainability model, because from the audience you got that a couple of times. How do you sustain this association in the long run? So Nick can offer some ideas and for us to continue this brainstorming exercise. Over to you, Nick.
Actually, I can't offer any ideas, but I mean, I think what's important from being here today with you all is just the fact that this is happening. And I don't think you can underestimate the fact that this is completely something that's being driven from the bottom up, which I think from an ILO perspective is absolutely critical. How this evolves, how this shapes, and how this becomes whatever it's going to become is really down to you all now, right? And we will support to the extent you can. And I think what's important to understand, you made a very good comment, let's try and minimize duplication. Let's try and minimize overlap. The UN is very good at duplication. We are very good at overlap, right? But then you need to help us. Because one of the things I find is that we go in and we do something, or we support something, and no one says anything. It just carries on. So we have another thing doing this, IMC is doing that, or IRC is doing this, UNHCR is doing that. World Bank, who knows what the World Bank does? But I mean, the World Bank does this, the IFC does this. We're supposed to be partners. But you need to also, I think the impetus, the advocacy needs to come from the bottom up. You need to tell us and others, don't do this or don't do that. Do this and do that. And I think that is really important, particularly because, we all have resources, but how do we use them effectively? To support you, to support other initiatives that are happening. It shouldn't be the decision from a top-down perspective. It should be a decision that's formulated through a bottom-up perspective, which means your voices are really important. And I think this association will make your voices stronger. And now this association needs to work with whatever is happening in Jijiga, whatever else is happening in the country. The role of cooperatives, I think, is critical. All of these voices need to speak as one. And that's not our job, that's your job. And we support however we can support. I think the other final thing I would say is that you're not alone. You're not alone in the region. There are other associations of these trainers. It's something Paul Mayanja knows this. He's our enterprise development expert in prospects for the region. This is happening in Uganda. This is happening in Kenya. So how do we make sure that your voices also talk to each other across countries? How can we learn from what's happening here? How can we learn from what's happening there? Somebody made a very good point. How do we sustain this? When you want to reach out to marginalized communities, what do you do? What's the best approach? Uganda, what did you do? Kenya, what did you do? We need to, and we can support this. This is something we can help with. How we help you as a region to talk more to each other and to learn from each other, because again, you're all suffering from similar challenges, right? After COVID, the cost of living crisis, food security, the energy crisis, financial crisis, it's everywhere. So how do we learn from each other? This is something that I think, Paul, we should support, right? Maybe in the coming year, 2023, as you establish the association, as you grow, as you see where your problems are, what are the questions you have for the ILO and for others? And how can we support you in terms of doing that? Because there is more than this. There is more than financial education. There is more than SIYB and Get Ahead. There is the whole range of market systems development, the whole issue around value chain development, value chain assessments. These are all tools and expertise that the ILO can help you with as you begin to develop as you go forward, so that your MSME sector becomes stronger. And I think that's important too. Access to finance. What is the government doing? I think is important as well. Is the government investing in this area? Are there funds coming into this area? How can we leverage those? How can we complement those with the funds that you get from the ILO and the funds that might come in from other sources, including the World Bank? I keep coming back to the World Bank, but don't forget the World Bank brings more resources than we do into the area of private sector development. So I think it's really important that we work very closely together, but more importantly is that I think this gives you a platform for your voices to become stronger. And I urge you to be very powerful advocates in your country around this issue. And you begin to make your voices heard with organizations like ours, not just ours, but make us understand what you need. What are the expectations? How can we help better? Not that we have the solutions always, but that you need to help us in terms of defining policies and resource allocation. But I just want to congratulate all of you. I think it's a fantastic initiative. I think Ethiopia should be very proud of what it's achieved today. And as Jean-Yves has said before, we stand behind you with prospects and with other ILO resources to help in any way we can. Okay, but huge congratulations to all of you for this association.
Thank you on that remark. Okay, if there is anything you want to say, guys, should we close it? Thanks. Yeah, I think if there is no any additional questions. Okay, John, please. Paul.
Yeah, just to add to what Nick mentioned, I believe the executive is aware that when you are starting the association, we connected you to the network in Uganda. We are willing to make those connections whenever you need advice and experience from other networks that have grown. Because it's learning from others that you're able to also build your own network. So count on us. I'm just emphasizing what Nick has just said. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, thank you, Nick. Thank you, Paul. I think this is very impressive support that we appreciate, and we need to take advantage of the support that you are extending to us. And we promise to come up with innovative ideas and strategies to take this BDS to a higher level. So let me say very big thanks to all of you who are, especially to those who are supporting us and from ILO and the Prospects Project. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Faisal. So if there is nothing further, I think this is the time where we depart. It was a very pleasurable morning, yes? The question is not addressed? Oh, sorry. Oh, the mix of the data. Maybe can't clarify that.
Thank you for reminding me that the number of trainers, I think it's available on the gateway. You can access it because it's not something that we are making from our mind. Is also so some are already certified, and they are certified trainers. Others are on the way to be certified very soon. So those who are certified and those who are potential candidates for certification are all listed on the ILO website. So the number can be easily verified from there. Thank you so much.
To further elaborate on that, you can just simply go to the ILO gateway, say report, and then country. It gives you the data. But I think you finished in 2022. So you may not be included, that's what I'm afraid. Because the data is until 2021 that we have. What I also downloaded for my presentation is until 2021. But anytime you want, since you are a member of the gateway, you can go to the gateway and generate your data in terms of country, in terms of trainings. Thank you for that. Yes, Paul also.
Yes, and also if you have any issues, you let us know. You can talk to Amias and we can connect you to the people in Geneva who are in charge of the gateway. As long as you provide reports, they will be able to verify and then upload your information over.
Thank you, Paul. So thank you, everyone. So what I want to say finally is that a lot of promises has been given today. So please keep your promises. Okay, keep your promises, and thank you. Thank you very much for this event. Yeah. Have a nice lunch. የከሰዓት ፕሮግራማችን ላይ የሜምበርስ ብቻ ነው። ስለዚህ ሜምበርስ ሲሆናችሁ ከሰዓት ኢንተር ሌክዠሪ ሆቴል ሚቲንግ እንዳለን ነው። እነ ኢየሩስም ብትመጡ ደስ ይለናል። እዚህ ፎርሙም ካለ ፎርሙን እንሰጣቸዋለን እዛ ላይ።
Mike, you didn't give me speech. Oh, really? I know. The guy tried to with it. No, not question, because you don't have to question. No, أنا association أنا association أنا سؤال
هذا واحد بروجرام كله سعته والله. سوري.
متفاير دي بس حتى سوري رنجل الله صورها أوي خضروا أو ميكروفون كنا عبدي سودي خضروا أكون دم بخانة إزاي مية هذا المرة بحربنا صناعي yeah.
Your Excellency,
distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's nice to be here today. Okay, I'm really proud of to be here with my friends. It's the first BDS that has been established in Ethiopia. It's nice to be here as a part of a unit, as a part of a refugee site. We really appreciate for giving us this opportunity to be a member of the association. We're really glad that on behalf of refugee has appreciated from the entire Ethiopia. Thank you. Okay. Take care.
Okay.